Yeah, I mean, I've been called dumb once or twice in my life.
That sparked our next debate: is cheesecake a cake?
Why wouldn't it be?
We kind of determined it's a pie.
I mean, it definitely has a pie. Well, it kind of has a pie crust.
Yeah, the
I
graham
would
cracker
say-
pie crust.
But I would say this. It's almost impossible for me to call something a pie that doesn't have some kind of like fruit or something in it.
what if
I
it's
don't-
got strawberries on it? Is it now a pie for you?
No, I'm still giving it a cheesecake. I don't know why, but I don't know. I don't really know. What's up, everybody? Holy smokes, we got people in here today. How's everybody doing? I'm Nick.
I'm Kevin.
We're the two dumb idiots. We appreciate you guys hanging in here today with us. We got an awesome show today, man. We put a little bit of work in. Weird.
A little bit. like,
Like a 355.
yeah, we were like, oh, I guess we should talk about something.
We Googled a bunch of shit.
We just
for
said
you.
Google, and we
Yeah.
Googled Google, and then we just hit the first 5 articles, and we go
That's
with
why we started arguing about cake. A lot going on right now. Everybody should have either voted or should be voting tomorrow. We had a lot of sports this weekend. The McRibs coming back. Who gives a shit? So
it. Everybody, apparently.
that's right. But if you've never been a part of the show, what we do here, positive news, positive vibes, no politics, and that's what you're going to get today. We're going to bring you guys some nice stuff to take your mind off the voting and all the other crap that's going on. We got some good stories. We got some good debates for you. So let's get right into it. First off, let's give a quick shout out. This is a melancholy kind of shout out, but my Uncle Rick was in the hospital, had a triple bypass. He made it through. He is in the ICU right now. Popped up on apparently a ton of Percocet. They asked for morphine, but apparently, I didn't know this. Him and his wife they don't use the word allergic. But they say like he just starts to itch all over. I've never had morphine, so I don't know anything. But
I've never had morphine.
No.
I've never Percocet. Actually, no, that's a lie. When I got my wisdom teeth out, they gave me 30 Percocet.
yeah, that's what,
I
same.
think I ended up taking 4 of them.
Yeah.
3 of them the first day, 1 the second day, and was like, I think this is good for me. All it did was make me sleep.
Yeah, the first time I ever took it, I had my tooth removed, and they had already put that like number in. So the Percocet mixed with the number, I was just drooling on myself for like a solid 3 hours. Morphine, though, again, is supposed to be like that high level, so it's not something you want to be allergic to. So I feel for him having a triple bypass and having to rock that out. So Uncle Rick, sending you some love today from the two dumb idiots, man.
But making moves in the good directions.
But making moves, so stay positive. We can get you out of there, and I'm going to march your ass around this world. We're going to go see some stuff. Second shout out, another listener of the show, my main man, Rob. Just a goofy shout out, but Rob.
Yeah, over the weekend it was Halloween, in case you didn't notice,
you didn't
because,
notice.
you know, it happens.
It happened. And Rob's costume was, it's my all-time idol as a kid. Jim Carrey as Ace Ventura is probably my favorite movie as a kid. And I really, to my very core, don't believe you can actually kill it harder than that. Like, getting all
The
those...
shoes untied, everything.
The silly hat, the dumb look. I mean, just like literally top to bottom. He's even got his like kind of the duck toes in, like he was. Absolutely fire. Rob, welcome to the chat. Yeah, I mean, literally, Rob. I mean, I cannot tell you how much joy that silly ass picture brought me. I showed it to Tony. I showed it to the roommates. They all got a chuckle. I've always wanted to do this. For Halloween, I've always wanted to grow my hair out and get the swirl going.
I feel like you're more of an Ace Ventura 2 with the spikes.
Yes, the devil spikes.
The devil spikes. More of that.
What is-
more
what
of that with like the spears in your leg, one in each leg, just walking around.
Quincy Ocho, yeah, white devil. That might be me. No, I just love it. Like I said, everybody. There was a lot of families that saw like the ketchup, mustard, and relish, and like other people did their shit for Halloween. And some of it was cool, whatever. But that one really stood out to me as like an actual
I heard
outfit.
some families were doing trick or treating in their house, and so inside the house they would have the kids go to each door in the house.
Yeah.
And there was different candy behind each door.
Oh wow, that's
So,
kind of
like,
clever.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of a. Cool
I know a
thing.
lot of people did like the black tubes, and they were sending candy down. I talked to my boy. He said he was on,
I saw a candy catapult. I thought that was
like
great.
that.
Somebody was just launching candy at kids. I'd have a slingshot. I'd really just like see if I'd be like, "Yo, catch it."
I got an arm. I might just be peppering kids from the driveway.
Yeah,
you know
like
what I mean.
just put a box in there. You stand in the
You
box.
stand there, and I'm gonna throw it. Oh, that would be fun. I just
Yeah.
start chucking shit.
Yeah.
You gotta catch it. If
Yeah.
you don't catch it, you gotta send it back. Yeah. Then who would want to do that?
They got their buckets. Yeah, just out there, just.
That's right.
be
Welcome
great.
in, guys. Let's go ahead and get this thing started, man. I hope everybody had a good weekend. It is a crazy time of the year. I can already feel that stress mounting. You can start to feel the Thanksgiving and the Christmas and stuff. So I hope this can be a nice little respite for you guys to have some nice stories. Let's get started with a story that there's no way you won't at least smile at. Lamb, throw it up there for you. You go ahead and
All
drop
right.
this bomb
So this
for
one,
everybody.
this one came across my my awareness today.
Yes, I love that.
I thought this was great.
Oh, you know what? While you introduce that, I got to get my notes for this next bit.
All right. What is going on here? All right. Well, that's great. Super great. But it's not coming through. Yeah, it's dumb. There it is. Cool. There we go. Yahtzee. Figured it out.
All right.
All right. So apparently this train ran off the tracks in the Netherlands. And it was saved from crashing 30 feet to the ground by a whale statue, the tail of a whale.
Let's just first at least put this out there. Whale tail is hard it's hard to say it because it only implies thong, right?
Yeah.
Can we agree with that, right?
Bit of a whale tail.
A bit of a whale tail. That's been if you don't know what it is, you can Google it yourself. It's just a term I've heard since middle school. So when you said the whale tail caught it, train, my instinct thought like a big thong had like caught a train and saved it. But almost cooler this way. So what happened
Yeah,
here?
it was actually Cisco.
Cisco out there with just a massive football-sized field thong.
Yeah.
Just slingshot it back onto the track.
So it ran this right over here. It ran the jumped the barrier. They're not sure why it didn't. They said that the driver was tested and everything was fine there, but he was the only person on the train.
Okay.
And it jumped this thing, and then this statue that had been there since 2004 happened to catch this train.
I don't know if you haven't read any deeper. Why did it jump tracks? Was you just like
They say it's still under investigation.
sounds like he was pushing it.
Maybe, but they said they tested him and then released him, so I don't think he was under investigation. But the greatest part of this is the name of the statue when it was initially put in was Saved by the Whale's Tail.
That's actually unbelievable. Sometimes truth is stranger than fiction, and that is what this is right here.
The guy, they said they contacted the artist, and he was like, "I'm really surprised it held up." He's like, "I built it like 20 years ago.
I was hammered drunk.
You don't really think something's been out in the weather for 20 years is going to hold a train."
Not to mention, not to be this guy, but he's an artist, not engineer, right? Like so. I mean,
No,
yeah.
he said it's made of plastic.
That's what I'm saying. I can't imagine it was meant to hold a train.
I'm guessing that it's supposed to be taller. It looks kind of like it's tilted over a little bit, like based on what the other one is.
Yeah.
I don't know if that one it just happens to be, but like it hit it and then it's like holding it. It's just shocking to me. They said they're just like, tomorrow we're gonna try and get that train down.
I mean, it might be more difficult to pull it back, which is funny.
Well, I think they're gonna get a crane in and do
Okay.
some things, but
When you first showed me this, I was racking my brain trying to figure out what it reminded me of, and unfortunately, I didn't actually figure out what it was. But what it reminded me of is every cliche movie where the train goes over the tracks and is hanging on by. Okay, I'm just being honest. I've been around 32 years. I've never, ever, ever seen a story where the train is dangling over the side. I mean, we're trying to
yeah, some guy climbs out. The driver climbed out. No,
and then like the villain's getting kicked off a rope. Like I've never seen that, but I know it's a thing, right?
I do remember.
Jared, what's up in that house? Jared, I don't know why I like saying your name, so I'm gonna give you an air horn.
I don't know if you were in Maryland when this happened, but it was like probably 10 years ago. There was a truck that ran over the 50 bridge, like the Chesapeake Bridge, and was like hanging over the side, and the driver had to like climb out.
That's what I'm saying. Those are like movie scenarios, and the movie's always covering dumb shit like that. But this was an actual movie scenario. And now, if anybody could help me out, I have been racking my brain all day trying to figure out what movie it is where there's a train hanging over the edge. I know Speed has at least a similar situation, but I feel like there's a movie where the train is hanging off the side of a cliff. There's a rope of some kind of cable, and like the protagonist, the main character, is trying to fight his way back up the rope, and he's kicking the villain in the face or something. If anybody has Spider-Man, maybe Derek. Derek, what's up? I'm gonna give you a horn too. What's up, Derek? I don't know. Mombot, I didn't see you commented. I'll give you a horn too. I love Mombot. DJ's here. I know he'd want a horn.
Boo.
Yeah.
Boo.
We can't boo DJ. I hope he's not here. I hope he is. So if anybody has any idea what movie that might be, I'm super. Oh yeah, I know Spider-Man. He's right. Oh my God.
There's the one where he's holding the train.
Oh, that's right. He's holding the train. You're right. That's not what
I
I'm
remember
talking.
that, but that was different.
That was different. Okay, so if anybody thinks of it, let me know. Send it to me. Great story to start the show. All right, second story. I'm just being honest. I don't like to hype things. Might be cooler than the first story.
Your boy?
Your boy.
My boy.
Yeah, boy.
So John Lester pitcher for the Cubs.
First off, I'm going to pause. Joe, my brother did say Jurassic Park has a very similar scene like that. It's not the first Jurassic Park. It's like the second or third, he
Maybe,
said.
but
And the Mission Impossible, you're right, too, but I thought that was a helicopter. So if there's a train scene that I'm unaware of, let me know. But I thought that, but again, my brain could just be
There's
muddling.
also 12 Mission Impossibles.
Right, and there's also a 12 movies where somebody's hanging off a cliff in a vehicle. So but I appreciate that, Joe. Joe, you get a horn. My main man, Joe. What's up, Joey? All right, go ahead.
It wasn't Denmark, Paul. Sorry. It's the Netherlands. Close.
Hey, Paul, sticking for the show though. I do have a slight.
Stick it to the jokes. I like it.
I do have a slight Denmark shout out for you later on, so stick in here.
All right.
So you try and talk over this horn as I blast over you.
Yeah, keep yelling into it. It's great. It's so much fun.
Go for it, buddy.
So my boy John Lester out there, they say he's a pitcher for the Cubs. They're saying he may be traded at the the season's over and stuff like that. That's a pretty big rumor. He decided if he was going to be traded, he was going to go out as one of the most beloved human beings in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
He went out over the weekend to various bars. Apparently they're open there, and decided to just buy beers for everyone in the bar, but only Miller Lights.
The original light beer.
Yeah. Tastes great. Let's fill it.
I wonder if there was anybody had a small problem with that.
Yo, can't get vodka cranberry? Nah, bro.
No,
you
can't.
I'm John Lester. You can get.
You're chucking beers. You're getting the F out. All right. So he bought 3,400 beers
Yeah, so far.
so far.
Yeah, if he keeps this rolling, I don't know if he's gonna go out next
And
weekend
this
too.
is because he's being traded?
No, they said that's a big rumor going around.
Okay.
So I don't know if he's just deciding to like blow some money or
What is
whatever.
this picture of?
That's
the Dodgers. I was
yeah.
gonna say, is that? I was like, I hope he's not responsible.
So then
for
he posted a bunch of like the receipts and everything,
Uh-huh.
so like people get added up and all this stuff. There you go, 10 million buyout from the Cubs.
Okay,
to
okay.
maybe get traded.
Okay.
So he's kind of throwing it back to Chicago a little
Okay,
bit since Chicago's giving him some dollars.
Yeah, I gotcha.
The favorite part of this though is he keeps tipping 34% on all his receipts because he's number 34.
Wow. 30. Okay,
Which is huge on huge tabs.
First off, yeah, if you're a waiter and you hear somebody's going to tip you 34%, I'm going to be shining in your shoes that day. So 34% is fat, and like you said, these are fat receipts
Like,
too.
You're talking like $5,000 at once.
$1,700 tip.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna. I mean, literally.
I'm sure that's for the bar.
I'm
and
sure that's
like,
split. That's
yeah,
probably split
so
three ways. That's
tops.
probably a $500 tip for each
Each.
$600 tip for each person.
Plus
That's
on
super,
top of everything else they're
They
doing.
probably made $1,000 that night. That's super fat. Somebody goes home and pays rent for the year, or later friggin' and maybe buys a car. That's really cool. Well, not rent for the year. Not in LA. You buy rent for 1 month with that.
I love that they're all signing the receipts and stuff. Like, thanks, John, number 34. Thanks, number 34.
What did you say the total was?
They said it was about $34,000 so far.
$34,000 with tips. Man, I mean, I'm saying that's a drop in the bucket for him,
Yeah.
right? But I'm saying the very second you walk into a bar for the first time with your friends, you immediately understand how cool it is to be the guy that says, yo, I bought everybody around, right? And back in the day, it was a little, well, I shouldn't say, maybe it is still easy. I'm sure it's still easy in some parts. My boy Trevor lives in Wisconsin. He tells me he still got $2 or $3 well nights. I ain't seen a $2 or $3 well night in 10 years. But maybe it still is affordable someplace. Out here, if I was like 4 or 5 friends at a bar in LA and I said I'm gonna buy a tab, it's gonna be $70. Like absolutely, like if I buy a round, that's a $70. $70 is a lot to drop. That's a gas tank right there. So that's hard to drop. I think everybody's wanted that feeling, though. Not only that, just
For the whole bar?
not us 5, all 50 of you guys.
Every person I can see.
Yeah,
As many beers as you want.
Yeah, that's
Plus
great.
roll.
One time I've had it happen. There's no way she's listening, but do you remember Jackie Brock?
Yeah.
Jackie Brock had a birthday party at a bar that's no longer open, probably because of shit like this. And they went in for her birthday. There was probably 60 people there, and she bought everybody some purple shot, right? And the bar said, hey, I think the bar literally gave her where for every one they would give her one too. So I think she ended up buying like 30 shots for the bar. I'm not kidding. I think it cost like $350 for like her to like buy everybody a shot. That's cool. That's a great story. I'm sitting here telling it on a show. With $350, you're gonna be short some bills that month.
I know.
So yeah.
I remember in college, we had this bar. Again, it lasted like a week.
Yeah.
Went in there, and I said, like, it was my entire fraternity. I was like, how much alcohol can you give me for $100?
Yeah.
And they go, all right, you want shots? I was like, yeah. They went in the back and got a 5-gallon bucket and just started pouring liquor and juice into a 5-gallon bucket and just started fucking. I'm talking at least 100 shots went out. There was probably 20 guys in the fraternity there.
But those bars never
Yeah,
last,
no.
right? You can't. You
No,
just
it's
can't.
just chaos.
No, it's just absolute chaos. I can't remember the name of this bar. It'll come to me at some point. But yeah, those bars, you always see them for 6 months. They pop up. Everybody loves them because you pretty much drink for free, and then they go out of business.
Yeah, you're like, oh, we'll get people and then we'll charge them. No,
That's right.
That never works that way.
Never works out. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our third story of the day. Lamb, why don't you drop this bomb on us? Because at first, I'm going to be blunt, at first the story seems like a nothing burger, just being honest. But as you continue to rattle off details to me, I think the story itself is applicable to everybody, to pretty much all streaming services going forward. And I think I think it's important. So go ahead, give me some facts on this.
Quibi, shutting down.
What's a Quibi?
What's a Quibi? What's a Quibi? What's a Quibi?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. What's a Quibi?
You should have told us in the commercial rather than just asking us.
If people knew what a Quibi is, maybe it would, and they weren't run by idiots, they would be still in business. So Quibi is a streaming service that started up right around when the Super Bowl was and ended about 7 months later. So it was an entire streaming service that has come and gone in about 7 months.
Jared, I'm gonna give him a snug for that. Jared's more like Quiddy.
You got it.
Where did you come up with that?
He's been planning this for days. I hope they talk about Quibi because I got
the one-liner.
I had a great one-liner the other day. There was this new ice cream place that's opening.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, man, I want to go in there on the first day.
Yeah.
And be like, you guys having a soft serve opening?
They just throw you out, dude. They just dunk your head under the machine.
I literally considered going to a place I really was not interested in just to try and make a joke.
Just stand there with your mouth
Yeah.
open like a bird.
Get
It's
it,
like,
guys?
come on, give it to me.
It's like a soft opening,
Throw
but it's
sprinkles
soft
in my mouth.
serve.
It only reminds me. Okay, I'm not this guy, right? I'm the kind of guy that, like, if I think of something funny on the spot, I'll say it. But I do have a lot of friends that have like this vault, and they have these one-liners ready. And I think I've told this on this podcast before because I think Malcolm was on the podcast when I said it. But he was one of those guys. He's got like 100 of these like vaulted one-liners ready, and as soon as some obscure scenario pops up, he's ready. It was like the movie theater. We were at the movie theater one time. The movie ended. Great movie, whatever it was. We were all excited. We go in the movie theater bathroom, and this was a big movie theater. There's like 10 or 12 urinals lined up for all the dudes. Every single one of them's filled. I'm like 6 or 7 urinals away from him. He yells down to me, "Hey, Nick." I like it. He said, "I like it in here. This is where all the dicks hang out." And I was like, dude, first off, slightly embarrassed because now he's like actually saying my name, and I gotta like look over. I would say of the 10 or 11 people, at least 7 I'm like, yeah, kind of give like a obligatory smile. All right, I like it. But it was just like, how long you been saving the penis joke for the standing
Movie theater?
And you can't do it in like a non-crowded one. You gotta do it's gotta be packed. You know?
It's like you're like, did you use this at a stadium?
Yeah,
That's it. You got
just
like
yell down. This is where the dicks hang out. It's like, dude, come on, bro. It's so great.
That reminds me of your UFC one.
Oh, I don't remember what it was.
A bar fight.
I don't know. Tell it to me.
So they were talking about a guy fighting 3 dudes in a night.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah. That was.
You'll tell it better than I will.
That was really funny. Yeah, I was watching UFC the other night, and the announcer was saying, "Yeah, I really like this fighter. He's like, I like his fights. I've seen some of his stuff." And he said, honestly, he's one of the only fighters that I can honestly say that I've seen him fight 3 times in the same night, and without missing a beat. The announcer right next to him said, "Oh, you guys drink at the same bar together?" I was like, damn, dude, you just like had it ready, just snapped it. And I was like, and they bust out. There's in the middle of a fight, they're slugging each other, they're laughing, but they're sitting there just laughing, can't even commentate over it. I was like, this guy, he's got to be saving that, you know? If you guys have a one-liner or a situation like that, please let me know. I love them. I actually love that shit.
All right, so back to the Quibi.
Back to the Quiddy.
See what you did there.
Hey, yo.
All right, so Quibi was a short-form streaming service. So their whole idea and their premise was that they wanted each episode to be about 7 to 10 minutes, and they would have short series broken up into little, bite-sized chunks.
Love the idea.
On the surface, a great idea, I think.
I do.
They were run by idiots. First, you advertise like crazy, and they give out 3 free months
off the bat.
For everybody.
Everybody.
I kind of get it. You like there's so many streaming services you really want to get, but they then put out almost all their good content initially, and then weren't releasing new content to go along after that 3 months. So they weren't keeping people. Literally, I think they said like 97 or 92% of all the
Quitting?
people ended it at
Wow.
after that. Then it was only available on your phone. You could only watch it on your phone.
You literally couldn't cast it to a TV.
No, couldn't cast it to a TV, couldn't watch it on a laptop. There were no apps available on
And
Apple
explain
TV.
why that is.
So their idea was that it's for the phone. It's to be watched on the toilet. It's to be watched on your way to work. It's to be watched in between things when you have a little downtime. Good ideas.
Good idea. There is something there.
But how often do you want to watch something while you eat and you're just like, I don't want to watch an hour-long show to put on the net. I don't want to go through like looking on Netflix for 20 minutes to find something to click on.
Right.
Like, you know, you want something that's 10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You watch 2 episodes. Cool. It would have been perfect for that.
Mm-hmm.
If it was like an add-on to YouTube or something, like $2 a month extra, like, hey, for $2 you can have these shows.
Mm-hmm.
I think people would have been interested in it.
Yeah.
But no, they're going to give it away for free.
Mm-hmm.
They spent $2 billion
Oh.
advertising, creating this, like doing all the stuff,
Yeah.
and it's done.
And you said they paid like Kevin Hart. They paid
Yeah.
like a rack of big stars,
yeah,
right?
they got, look at that. You
Yeah,
got
yeah. What's
your
his name?
Don Sutherland right
Sutherland,
there.
yeah.
They had Hemsworth. They had tons and tons of people on this platform. They had what's the guy from Django?
Christoph Waltz?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He
I
had a
love
whole,
Christoph
he
Waltz.
had a thing on it. It was really interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Great little ideas. Because think about how many cool things are really only like a 45-minute movie.
Right,
You
right.
know, and
right.
you break it up into some chunks and, you know, really put some money into
Yeah.
like 45 minutes.
I can't
You
think
can
of
put
what.
some high-end stuff out.
Yeah, and so I'm going to say a few things here. One, there was a show on Netflix a while back, well, not too long ago, but it was like a cartoony show, and they had like these quick, like 12, 15-minute episodes. I would have to figure out what it was. Cartoony, but it was very serious content.
Oh, the robot something?
Yeah, they had robots. It was a very serious content, but I mean, like not serious in the sense of like, but it was just like adult content, I
Yeah.
should say. Very interesting. I blew through a bunch of them. Right, the idea of short, to the point shows, 5-10 minutes. I love the idea. There's so many times where I come out and for breakfast or dinner time where I'm like, you know, I don't feel like fully in. No robot chicken. Not robot chicken. Rob.
Great show, though.
Yeah. So many times I'm looking for something to just kind of bide my time. I don't want to drop into a 45-minute show, whatever. So I love that idea all by itself. I'm just being honest, I love the idea of, hey, we wanted to watch on your show while you're on the train, yada, yada, yada. Love that idea too. When you make it, though, that I can't go home and watch it with my roommates, you're ostracizing yourself. Now I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, well, we'll just watch something else. First off. Second off, you said the 3 months thing, right? It's not a thing where you want people to give 3 full months of it. It's like you said, they can wear out all the stuff in there and then be over it. I know my boy Joe in here is just started using that soap that they're always bragging about on YouTube. This like man's Sasquatch or what is this? Oh my God, the commercials are everywhere. You haven't seen this commercial? Oh my God, literally
I
every
get different commercials than you do.
Oh my God, every single commercial is about this. How the body wash you've been watching is classified as detergent. You haven't seen this commercial? Oh my God, it's everywhere. So they have this new bar of soap. They're saying, did you know that all bars of all body wash is classified as detergent, not actually soap? Sasquatch soap. Thank you, Paul. It's everywhere, and so that you can order for $7 a month. They will send you this nice, healthy bar of soap that's supposed to be good for your skin. Yada yada yada. The Dollar Razor Club or whatever that was. Okay, you go 2-3 months with that. All of a sudden they're like, "Hey, we're done." You're like, "Hey, shit, I kind of want that back. Like, I like that having that. Hey, I want that soap back. I was kind of used to you guys sending it." This is kind of like, "Hey, I watched a bunch of shows and they were all right. And now it's done, and I'm kind of over it." It's not going to pull you back in like that, right? So they're missing something. They're not doing it the right way. Not to mention, you said they had all these people. I follow Kevin Hart. I didn't even know he did anything, right? Like there was not enough push, right?
No.
And Dr. Squatch, that's what it is. Dr. Squatch, that's what it is. Yeah.
Dr. Squatch.
It's great. It's great. Joe's in here, Dr. Squatch. I'm telling you, we're gonna have to look it up, dude. I'm telling you, this Dr. Squatch. I hate the company. I don't even know it. I hate it because every single time I'm working out and I'm YouTubing it, it's like, hey, detergent. I'm like, God damn it, I don't want your soap. But
It's weird because like I get that YouTube's like trying to give you things it thinks you want.
Yeah.
Like I watch a lot of tech stuff, so I get a lot of tech ads. I get a lot of like Samsung phones and stuff like that. But I don't need the same ad over and over and over again. I'm way less interested because I know the first 3 words of the saying. I know immediately. You catch me
100%.
with something else.
100%.
If this Dr. Squatch popped up on mine,
Yeah.
I might have listened to it more.
I think you're a target audience, and so am I. I can't. Right, but I can't believe I only get 3 commercials. I get that. I get this guy telling me that if I want passive income, that I need to start buying billboards.
I don't get that guy.
And then I get this one guy telling me that cardio doesn't burn fat, and then everybody's wasting their time. I only get those 3.
I don't get any of this.
So I know that they're after me because I'm always looking for passive income ideas. I am a man, so I guess I wash my body, and I don't know. But so they know their audience. They missed in so many levels, and it's funny because I had to actually ask you what they did.
Yeah.
Right? Like that. To me, I criticize all the time these commercials. The commercial will pop up and it'll be over. I'm like, what was that for? I don't know. What does it do? I don't know. If your commercial doesn't tell me what you do, you're missing it. You should come on and say, this is Quibi. We thought you guys would like 5 to 10 minute videos or shows that you could watch. I'd be like, oh, I would immediately know what you do, and I would go check it out. You coming in there with this gimmicky ass, what's Quibi shit? I don't know.
Yeah, here's 20 seconds of cars racing around a mountain, and then you're like, Quibi.
Right, you're right. That doesn't do much for me.
All right. Well,
Too clever. They outthought themselves.
Yeah, they do it all the time. All these fucking knucklehead advertising people.
They do. Just give me the facts. All right. So Quibi, you're out. Quiddy, you're going. Let's go ahead and move on to the next subject because we got so much to go through today.
We do.
We got a lot.
Guess what's back, baby? Coming back.
We bashed this the other day because I didn't understand, and I think one of our listeners actually said that their mom was really into the McRib. I think it was Ramathorn, but I think. So the big announcement, they were bragging about the McRib coming back, and we've talked about the show that we just quite don't understand it. So we're not going to get into too deep into the McRib because I don't give a shit. But because of it, I was curious. So I just happened to we and Lamb just happened to Google is there any other items that are limited time? You said Shamrock Shake.
Shamrock Shake has a pretty big following. It's a mint shake.
Don't want it.
I don't want it,
Yeah.
but at least it's like for the month of March with St. Patrick's Day. It's pretty reasonable.
Right. But I don't want a Shamrock
Yeah.
Shake. There's a zillion places that offer a shake
Yeah.
year round. And not to mention, if I'm going to get a milkshake, McDonald's is probably not the place I'm going to do it.
I don't know. McFlurry's pretty delicious though.
For sure, but I'd rather get Ben & Jerry's. But so there's that. I couldn't think of anything else, though.
We thought about a pumpkin spice latte.
That's
Yeah,
true.
we talked about that.
But
after
Wendy's,
that, we were
Burger
like,
King,
ugh.
Taco Bell. Does anybody have anything that's like, oh, we look forward to every year? So we looked up and to see if there any limited items that maybe we have missed, and the list was actually pretty funny. So we're gonna go ahead and roll through some of these, and we're gonna do a little game called Rehash or Trash. Whether we think they should, because some of these have died. We want to know if we should rehash them and they should bring it back so I can try it, or we should trash it and it's the worst idea possible.
Yeah, a lot of these I didn't even know existed. They came and went without anything.
I never heard of some of these stuff either. So I'm actually excited. Half of these I haven't even seen. You just rolled it through me a couple, and I was laughing. So, all right, let's go ahead and jump right into it.
First one.
Buffalo
Wild Wings offered Mountain Dew wings.
Okay, so let's just start right off the bat. Are you in or out?
I'm intrigued. I actually think I may try and make these.
Okay, I
and
like
then
that.
we're going to do a taste test because they give a decent breakdown, at least of the ingredients in the sauce.
Okay.
So it was Mountain Dew, lemongrass, soy sauce, garlic, ginger.
Okay.
And some red pepper for a little spice.
Sounds some of the ingredients you like marinated steak.
Yeah,
in, right?
exactly.
So,
I was
okay.
like, all right, I get the citrus from that. They said, though, initially it was very good taste,
Yeah.
but then at the end it tasted like artificial soda flavor, artificial sweetener is all that you got. So I don't know if they were using Diet Mountain Dew. Or if you think about it, it's flavored with corn syrup, so maybe it's not like that normal sugar. So
Do
maybe
you
it
think you
cooks
could
down.
cook it out? Like that flavor?
I would cook it down.
Yeah, right, okay.
And but
I'm gonna say-
I could give it a shot.
I don't know what the rest of this list looks like completely, but I'm all in on this.
Jared wants Code Red.
I love it, Jared. You're hilarious. That's I would say you're probably in the majority in that too, Jared. Code Red is
Never had a Code Red.
Oh, that was pretty good. Code Red's bomb. Again, it's like any of the other sodas.
Still no Baja Blast in my life, and still no Code Red.
Wow, that's unbelievable. We're gonna do it on the show now.
Yeah.
Code Red is one of those things that
We'll do a Mountain Dew show. We'll do
Yeah,
a whole Mountain Dew show.
got it.
We'll get some Mountain Dew wings. We'll get some Code Red.
Yeah.
We'll get some Blast or whatever it
My
is.
friend Paul is always telling me that because have a slight Southern accent, she thinks that I just drank Mountain Dew my entire childhood, and I didn't know that Mountain Dew was considered a rednecky drink until I moved out here. So that makes me laugh. Code Red, I would say.
Paul. He's a mountain lion or thunder.
Mountain Lion. Oh, I've definitely had some Mountain Lion.
Lightning.
Mountain Lightning.
I've
Okay.
had Mountain Lightning. That's
Yeah.
the Walmart brand.
Okay. I've probably had a couple of those. I love this idea. I'm totally in on it. There's a million different wing ideas. I love the flavors of Mountain Dew, so I'm in on this. All right, what's the next one?
Next one had Burger King had mac and Cheetos. So these were Cheeto shaped and Cheeto crusted macaroni and cheese. So fried macaroni and cheese, but it was crusted with Cheetos.
That's unbelievable. That's a great idea. So let's just start with the idea itself. The idea is basically
They look like Cheeto Puffs,
it
but
reminds
they're
me
full of mac and cheese.
it reminds me of the Cheesecake Factory, kind of the mac and cheese balls.
Those
They
are
make-
delicious.
right, delicious. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If they're now, do I think that Burger King has the intelligence to execute this properly? No. But do I think the idea is top notch? I would almost put it above the Mountain Dew wings. It's a really good idea. If you're going to use breading for something,
It's a cheesy thing,
Right.
a crunchy cheesy thing.
it's fake cheese, but it's all working together. I love it. If they could get the crisp on the actual Cheeto, it would be actually fire. Now, like I said,
Burger King, so I don't trust them.
right. I think me and you could have a better shot at it than they did, but I do love it. First off, looking at it though, it will kill somebody.
Oh my God, yeah.
I would say maybe 5 of those got to be 1,500 calories.
Easily.
Easy. I love the idea.
Yeah.
What does it say? Like, was
So
saying
2016,
okay.
and then there was a limited run
run.
2017. They brought them back.
Oh, it caught fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. But right, why didn't they catch fire again and bring it back?
I don't. It's Burger King. Man.
So the combination of already mushy, overcooked macaroni and cheese with a less than crisp. Right. See, that's the problem.
Yeah.
You gotta crisp it, otherwise
Yeah.
you're just missing. All right. What's the next one?
Arby's had a venison sandwich.
What? I don't think I've ever eaten deer anywhere outside of like. I mean, I've had deer, but I
Yeah.
don't think I've ever eaten it at a restaurant anywhere. Ever.
I can't think of a restaurant. Maybe in the like areas where it exists.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Holly? Welcome in. Rags to riches. What is the deal with that?
On the way to roller derby practice.
Oh wow. Oh wow, Paul. Okay, damn. The Joe Rogan sandwich.
Yeah, venison.
Is that it?
Well, he loves that like elk meat.
Oh,
you know,
does
and
he?
all
Okay.
that. It's
Oh,
the-
okay.
you know, he's just all big on that.
Rags to riches. So I am not sold on this. I'm just being honest. Every time I've ever had venison,
So 3 days, Paul, in 2016, and 1 day in 2017, this sandwich was available.
I'm just saying this right now. Every time I've ever had venison, it's meaty, it's gamey. I don't think it belongs on a sandwich. It's chewy.
Yeah,
it's
it's not-
tough.
it's
It's not
hard to do.
Yeah, like if you cut it up like a Philly cheesesteak and made it real thin and tender, it might be worth something. That looks like an actual steak put onto a sandwich.
Yeah, juniper berry sauce. Like, man, they tried to do it up.
What is a juniper berry sauce? I don't want it.
Juniper is what they use to flavor gin, so not necessarily the most interesting sauce.
Yeah, I'm not. Are you in on that? I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say trash that venison chili at my last restaurant. Okay, so venison chili.
I could be
Okay.
in on that.
Okay. Yeah, I think venison chili. Like, again, there may be small chunks of edible deliciousness.
Cooked down.
Are you trashing that? Do you want it?
I'd try it.
So
Try
the first
once.
2 I would rehash. I want them to bring back the
Yeah.
wings. I want them to bring back Cheeto balls, and I want them to do a better job. That
I don't
I'm-
want. I don't know if I want it at Arby's, but I would try a venison sandwich.
Yeah. I
Like
would-
at like a high end restaurant.
That's fair. I'm not gonna knock Arby's though, because every time I've ever in there, the food's good. the venison's not great.
Yeah.
All right, let's move it on.
Next
here.
one. This one is my favorite.
Okay.
So this is Taco Bell firecracker burrito.
Uh-huh.
So you might say, what makes it a firecracker?
Is it spicy?
It has a spicy packet that comes with it that you can sprinkle in periodically of cayenne flavored Pop Rocks.
What?
So it pops in your mouth. You get that firecracker.
I don't think I've ever heard Pop Rocks put into a food.
Not
item.
once, not never.
That's right. Not once, not never. I don't think I've ever seen it happen. Pop Rocks, in my opinion, just saying it, don't belong in my food.
Yeah, in food, like as its own item.
Sure.
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 I don't need my food like talking back to me.
Not to mention, they're
Like active
the
in my mouth.
best thing about Pop Rocks is you don't really chew them. You throw them in there, you kind of just enjoy the weird sensation
Yeah,
that they
I'm
bring.
crunching and
Right. I don't want like halfway through like a piece of carne asada. It's like
food's fighting back.
Yeah. Not to mention you made it spicy, so now you're not even like now I'm like really confused. by
I
this.
would try spicy Pop Rocks though. Independent.
Maybe this I'm trashing it. I don't want
I love the creativity of it,
for sure.
but I do not want it.
We've
at all.
argued about this on the show. I don't want healthy shit in my dessert, so I don't want like nuts and raisins in my dessert. We talk about it. I don't want candy in my food. So that kind of I don't know. That's just me. Anybody in on this? Anybody?
I don't think
That
anybody.
picture doesn't look appetizing. Paulie said they sold out in 6 hours for the old venison sandwich.
They probably had 12 of them. It didn't take long to sell out.
Joe said everybody ready for the yearly Arby's deer hunt.
Yeah.
They just start wrangling up managers. And
Yeah,
giving them
let's
BB
go,
guns.
guys.
Yeah, let's go.
You get as many sandwiches as the manager can take down.
Just turns into like wedding crashers and shooting each other in the ass.
So they got the pumpkin spice latte. We can scroll over.
We
that.
liked that though. We were impressed,
Yeah.
right? I never had one. I thought it was
This
good.
one.
What is
the
this?
KFC Double Down. Are you familiar with the KFC Double Down?
I think this was like a sandwich on each side or a chicken on each
Yeah.
side.
So
Okay.
the sandwich itself, the bun was 2 fried chicken patties, and
Yeah.
then inside was cheese sauce, and bacon, and like a spicy sauce
God damn.
in the middle. I had this. This is the only one on the list I've had.
Okay.
Besides like the normal one, like the pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Really?
Amazing.
Okay, so-
I would bring this back in negative 50
So
seconds.
you rehash it 100%.
So much.
There's no ingredients that I don't like. I do miss bread in a sandwich, but I will say I think you could do a sandwich without it.
Yeah. My favorite part was they were like advertising this because it was like under 500 calories.
Yeah.
Like as being like a healthy alternative. It was my favorite part.
Protein style.
Yeah, it
right?
was
Okay. Somebody said the firecracker burrito is going to be firecracker in the toilet. I like that. I always wanted to try the double down, but I feared for my heart. Malcolm, I'm with you. There's a lot of things that I've wanted to try, but I fear for my heart as well.
It's a fried chicken sandwich without the bread.
Jared just punning us to death over there. Double bypass down. Yeah, double bypass down. That's exactly what that is. You eat 3 of those sandwiches, you're going to at least have like some heart pain. That's 100% fact. All right, what's the other one here?
The Arch Deluxe. We can skip over that one.
I
That
don't
was
care.
pretty dumb.
I don't even remember what that is. Sounds like a burger.
It was like their McDonald's tried to make their first like fancy burger.
Oh, don't care.
It was a
Lame.
major flop. They had like they put like $1 billion.
Okay, I
into
do remember
one.
this. Malcolm, please don't leave me here. This was the actual...
This was the thing for like a week.
This was the worst thing to ever happen to Starbucks employees. And I'm 100% sure of it. I never heard somebody complain more than when Malcolm had. There was all of a sudden, if you guys don't remember, there was a secret menu released for Starbucks. There was a whole secret menu. I remember they had like a Skittles flavor. They had like a Lucky Charms flavor. They had like a Cinnabon flavor. They had all this different shit. And basically what they said is if you go in to the Starbucks and you say, I want 2 pumps vanilla, 2 pumps hazelnut, 1 pump chocolate, 1 pump raspberry, and you do that, and then you ask me to do all these fancy things, then it will turn out like a Lucky Charm or turn out like whatever. So this is an example of that. I remember there is no secret menu, damn it, Malcolm. There's just a menu. If you're just asking me to put a bunch of shit in there, you're annoying. Okay, me and you both work at restaurants.
Yeah.
People with a ton of extra modifications are annoying, period.
Yeah.
It's just what it is.
You get 1 to 2.
You get 1 to 2. If you want to change the meal ever so slightly, say, hey, I'm really not in the mood for spicy. Can you not put the chili flakes? Cool. Hey, I really don't like tomato on my burger. You probably should take it off and stop being a whiny brat, but whatever.
I'll ask for it off, but if
move
it
it.
comes on it, I'm not like sending it back.
Right. You start coming in with like, I want an omelet. I want 12 eggs. I want the spinach cooked beforehand. I want that. You're like, okay, for real, just go home. Take your ass home. This is an example of that. People coming in, first off, that is going to kill somebody. That's got to be 4,000 calories, dude. That's disgusting.
Every time I think about it, though, I think these drinks are so much more than they are, and they're really never as much as you think.
What's
they
in
are.
here? Does it say? According to a Starbucks, yeah.
So, yeah. So it's pink powder blended into a cream frappuccino with mango syrup, and then sour blue topping.
Right. It's like a Slurpee.
So, yeah, but see, it wasn't the absurd amount. I guess. It says it has a
Dredged in pixie sticks. Yeah, it's just covered in sugar. See, this, look, if Starbucks had like 1 day of the year, they were like, yo, it's like whatever menu day, and you can come in and we'll let you be an asshole and
dick around and be a jerk day.
Yeah, and make us work extra hard on 1 day and you tip us a little extra that day. Cool. Every day I had to roll up with people like literally giving me a custom order. It would annoy me. It just would. It just would annoy me.
Malcolm's saying, the big issue is that people just roll in there and they're like, yo, make me a Cinnabon.
Right. And Malcolm's like, I don't know what a Cinnabon
Yeah,
is.
you can't like. It's not like an actual written menu.
Right. I don't know what it is, dude. I don't.
I'm gonna Google it now. Like
Bartender, I used to
same
bartend,
thing.
and we both did that. People come in and be like, yo, let me get like a stinky foot and like a fart whistle. And you're like, dude, I don't know what either of those can think.
They're like, oh, but they make it down at Tom's. Copyright.
Copyright fart whistle.
Yeah. You can have that one.
I don't know why fart whistle really makes me laugh. Let me get 2 fart whistles and a And they always got like the
And
blonde
then they
sweat or
explain
whatever.
it to you, and it's always just like a buttery nipple.
It's always like
something normal.
It's like vodka, cranberry juice, and orange juice. You're like, yeah, dude, we've already got a name for that, dickhead. So just letting you know, if you're the person with a super modified order on everything, just letting you know, you probably
Don't.
You're. It's not cool. Everybody thinks it's cool. Oh yeah, they love me here because I get my super customized order. It's not cool. You're annoying.
All right, so this will be the last one.
Fish bites.
McDonald's fish McBites. So
Those are fish sticks.
fish, but instead of nugs, like chicken nugs,
Yeah.
they wanted fish nugs.
I don't have a problem with that.
Apparently, people liked the taste of them, but they sold so poorly they just immediately got rid of them.
I will say this. I love the McDonald's fish fillet sandwich, and I don't know if anybody's I don't even know. I really couldn't tell you if I'm in the majority on that. I really don't know. They've had it for so long. There's got to be other people out there that like it like me. But it is expensive. It's not a cheap sandwich. And I know this because of my other job. They use really nice fish. That's going to surprise people. But they use nice fish. That's why it's expensive. They rip off fishermen all year for this, and that's why you get the decent prices. And that's why come like Lent, you get super decent prices because they double rip them off around that time. McDonald's, not the most lovable business sometimes. But I would eat a fish McBite, but I agree there's no real like comeback value, right? Like it's not like, damn, I can't get in there and get those fishy bites.
Irish Bear wants all his food in nugget form.
For sure, I'm cool with that, dude. Little mini burgers, mini whatever. All right. Anyway, let's move on. I'm trashing that one. I think it's fish sticks. You can't sell fish sticks. That's just my opinion.
McDonald's can't sell fish sticks? I feel like if anybody can. McDonald's is allowed to sell fish sticks.
Sure, man. I mean, maybe for kids, I guess you could sell them.
Yeah, you put those in the kids menu. I'm fine with that.
Perfect. All right, let's go forward. We're gonna start. We're gonna go on to the next subject real quick. Little bit of a sad introduction here. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but Mr. Sir Sean Connery passed away this weekend, and it feels like we live in an era where like every 2 weeks like a famous person dies, and I think that's just because we're like overloaded with information. I feel like 20 years ago you could go like a month and be like, did you know that so and so died? You're like,
They're like, when?
when? They're like, they do a long time ago. You're like, oh, crazy.
Yeah, if you go 24 hours without finding out somebody's died,
You don't have a phone. You're
shocked.
You're shocked, right? So Sean Connery passed away. I love Sean Connery. I didn't even realize how old he actually was. He was like
90.
90. Okay, so and you said he was kind of going through the dementia. If anybody rocked his life, though, he did. Me and Lamb just kind of wanted to, I don't know, man. We just wanted to kind of salute him in a really fair way. So we're going to do our top 3 Sean Connery movies. Before that, though, I just wanted to tell you guys a little bit about maybe him, just to maybe kind of personalize him a little bit. Maybe you didn't know. I read a lot about him. First off, was a very real strong into the theater. He was a Navy man. He had some kind of medical condition, so he got discharged. He had some kind of like multiple ulcers in his stomach, so they had to let him go. After that, he bounced around and did a ton of jobs. He was a taxi driver. He did. They said at some point he was polishing
coffins.
Polishing coffins. That was like his job for a while. He was a bodybuilder. Most people don't know this. Apparently, he was really into bodybuilding. He got the face, right? Like, he's probably kind of a decent, strong guy. Funny story, he was a bodybuilder. Said that what made him stop bodybuilding was he said he kept seeing these Americans like 6 inches taller than he was, and he was like, I'll never be able to compete with these people. So he just like, I just gave it up.
Sorry, can't work out the height machine.
Yeah, that's right. So he gave it up. He was the first person to ever play Bond in a movie. So that was really cool.
7 times, you said?
7 times he played Bond. For a lot of people, my dad including, he was kind of their Bond, the older generation. For me, we can argue all day, and we will. I know a lot of my friends still love, what's his name?
Pierce Brosnan?
People love Pierce Brosnan. I'm cool with that. For me, though, I think Daniel Craig has taken it to a whole different level, and that's probably just because
I think they're different movies.
Different movies. I think the quality of film is so much higher that maybe I struggle to know whether the actor or the movie, but I love the Daniel Craig movies. I watch them all the time. I've only seen parts of his because my dad used to play it all the time. But I was never like in love with those movies. But Sean Connery, really cool guy. He was knighted in 2000. I remember as a kid, my mom told me that. I'll never forget this. I was watching one of the movies with him, and mom told me, he's a knight. And I was like, a knight? And I was like, I didn't even think they did that anymore. Like, what do you mean knight? They're like, yeah, they still do it over there. And I swear to God, Lamb, from a very young age, I was like, I've got to find a way to have that happen to me. From like
yeah, we don't have American Knights. We need to get something like that.
I just need to go over to Scotland or something, impress them somehow so I can be knighted. I don't think, honestly, I think that would be like one of like the coolest things you could ever happen to you for the rest of your life. People are like, oh, that's Sir Nicholas Regana. And you're like, what did he do? You're like,
and then you become a doctor. That's
Right.
Dr. Sir.
That's pretty funny. I'll give you that one. Dr. Sir Nicholas, we're going to piss everybody off.
Can I
just call you
PhD,
Nick?
we get it.
No, I earned it. So I love that. Without gilding the lily, what's your third best Sean Connery movie?
Mine's going to be an interesting third.
Okay.
It is The Highlander.
Okay.
It is Sean Connery playing a Spaniard,
Okay.
but with a Scottish accent.
Apparently, he did this in a few movies. He played other accents, but not very well. So that does kind of make me laugh.
So he plays an immortal who like is training this guy, other immortal, on how to like become the Highlander and all this stuff. And he wears this like old timey like Spanish outfit, like a conquistador outfit the whole time, and fights with a sword. It's so terrible. It's great.
Oh, love it. Okay. So I don't think I've seen that. I didn't put it in my top 3, but I also want to say that he did win Best Supporting Actor Academy Award for The Untouchables. So he went down with a Sir in his name, an Academy Award, polishing coffins, bodybuilding. It's like this guy attacked everything. I think that's really cool to note. For me, this is going to be, for some people, they're maybe number 1 or 2, and maybe you're number 1 or 2. But for me, my favorite movies of all time, number 3 for him is The Rock. It's a classic. For me, I loved the movie. I've watched it a zillion times. I went to San Francisco, went to Alcatraz, made a bunch of goofy videos when I was there in a stupid voice saying, not leaving the Rock. You know, all these dumbass Sean Connery. But I loved it. Loved the movie. He does a great job in there. You ever been to Alcatraz?
I've been to San Francisco, never been on the island.
Unbelievable. Really, really cool. If you ever don't check it out, it's way creepier than you think. And when you're there, it does really, you feel the movie a little bit more. You feel like, oh, God, this is a scary place. So, great movie. Decent cast in that movie, too. Nicolas Cage, some other people. She was the prom queen. So, really great movie with some great lines. But Sean Connery, great in that one. What's your number 2?
That's my number 2.
Number 2.
That's my number 2 is
Fair
The
enough.
Rock. I would say peak Nicolas Cage.
Yeah,
that
for
or
sure.
Con Air.
For sure, I
Or
agree.
peak Nicolas Cage.
100%.
And so there's that scene where he's driving, that steals the Lambo from the guy up front, and they're driving it down
Oh,
the streets in
yeah.
San Francisco, chasing after
Yeah,
him.
I love it.
Oh, love that.
Yeah, they get that right after he gets his haircut.
Yeah.
Or something. Yeah. He's got a lot of great moments in that movie. What's great about Sean Connery, and I think in every movie, and this is just me being honest, is his characters are always so well crafted and spoken for that you could watch that movie and never say, "Man, Sean Connery's doing a great job." You would just say, "Man, this character is really interesting," right? Because he just I don't, there's some actors you watch, you're like, oh, there's Denzel, right? Like you see Sean Connery, and I don't know, I immediately just kind of fold in and be like, oh, this is a person in a movie. I think he does a really nice job of that.
What's your number 2?
They said it actually at a young age he didn't like the fame that came with the James Bond.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. Number 2 would be an entrapment. I had a mega crush on Catherine Zeta-Jones when I was a kid. She's walking around in spandex.
Her pinnacle.
Yeah, her pinnacle.
When
for
she's
sure.
sliding through those laser beams.
Yeah, just butt cheeks for days. Great movie. He's really fascinating, that movie. He is. He's very mysterious. He's very interesting. He's very weird. And that movie, I could watch any movie where there's a robbery, pretty much. So I loved it. He was a little bit older in that movie, but he
Yeah,
still got
that was
that kind of like the old man spunk.
That was one of his last movies, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, then he quit acting in 2006 or 2000?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. I love the movie. Love the scene where they're at the very end, they're at the train track, and she looks over and he disappears, and the train goes by, and then she looks over again, the train goes by, and then they stand on the other side. Love it. I just love the movie. I haven't seen it in a while, and it makes me want to go rewatch. What's your number 1?
Indiana Jones.
Oh, good call. So I didn't get that one.
Raiders of the Last Crusade.
Very, very cool.
That one. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Just him and Harrison Ford, the way they're playing off each other when they're back to back with the chairs,
Yeah.
and they're going
Yeah.
like chasing each other.
I forgot all about that scene.
Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah, he's kind of.
It's got just a hair of comedy.
It does.
In that moment. It was like such a departure.
Uh-huh.
Like it's the first time he had like any sort of like comedic at all touch.
Right.
But it was just so good.
I agree. It reminds me, and this is something they tell you in acting, that a lot of times, if people are trying to make something funny, they'll try too hard. And a lot of times in acting, in a very serious scene, there is comedy, but you have to play it very serious. And that's what he does in that scene. He plays it like his life is in jeopardy. But him playing it so real kind of makes you chuckle, right? You're like, this is his absurdity kind of makes you chuckle. That's how dipped into the character he was. So really, really cool. That's a great movie. My number 1, I can't imagine it's on your list, is Old Finding Forrester.
You mean
Yeah, that's right. You
my
already-
list is over?
I didn't even know if you've seen this movie before, so
Yeah, a
Finding
long
Forrester-
time ago.
Finding
But yeah,
Forrester.
that again, one of his last.
Finding Forrester for me as a kid, I found so inspirational. I thought, odds against it, and I thought, I don't know. At least as an actor, I think there's at least some fear to play a kind of a persnickety old racist grandpa.
unless you're Clint Eastwood.
unless you're Clint Eastwood, and
Because then that's pretty much your
Yeah.
your
That's
go-to.
your wheelhouse. Yeah, that's your everything. Loved Finding Forrester, man. I thought he delivered an unbelievably profound role, and I only saw recently, maybe not super recently, about a year and a half ago, I went and saw it. And there's things now that I see differently. Honestly, even as I get older, it's like there's a scene in that movie where. Obviously, if you don't know the movie, he helps this black kid go from a very poor neighborhood, and he's trying to get into college and do these things. And they don't really like each other, but this kid's writing is so profound that it shocks Sean Connery, who in the movie is a famous writer. And it's a sport movie wrapped up into like kind of a kind of a racial tension kind of movie, and it's really, really well done. But there's a scene in the movie where he wants to take him to a ball game. Finally, him and the kid start to get along a little bit, and the kid wants to repay him and take him to a Yankee game. And he gets there, and this guy hasn't left the house in years because he's a writer and he doesn't want to be noticed and he hates the world. He hasn't left his house in years. He gets there, and the social anxiety gets so strong for him that you see Sean Connery literally cave into a corner and like just start to shake. I'm dead serious. As a kid, I didn't even understand what was happening. Like, they don't really even explain it. He just happens to him, and the kid takes him, and I'm like, why is he acting all weird? They're at like a baseball game. It's not until you're older that you understand, man, if you spent 10 years cooped up in a house, that many people really probably would give you an anxiety attack, right? So, very, really interesting role. It ends beautifully. It's a wonderful movie. If you haven't seen it, check it out. So shout out my main man, Sean Connery. We had to give him a little due today. So that's our top 3, man. If anybody has a movie that we missed, let us know. Like I said, I did want to mention that he did get an Academy Award for that, for one of the movies, Untouchables. So, all right, let's go ahead and move on. Last week, I posted on the Instagram, I posted a picture of an Italian city, and I told you guys that they were you could buy a house there, and I asked how much it was. The answer to that was $1. They have done this in a couple places where towns have had some troubles, but there is a town in Italy right now where you can buy a house for $1.
Do you want to try pronouncing that name of that town?
Oh, this is my favorite town. This is Cinquefrondi.
That's pretty close.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I just took a slap. Dilapidated town. Abandoned.
COVID free.
I would hope so. There's nobody there.
Right?
Right?
It's
Yeah.
right there in the title. COVID free.
I love that's their selling point. That's a pretty positive selling
Yeah,
point.
we got a COVID free town.
COVID free town. I thought this whole story was interesting. It's not the first time it's happened. Let's hold right there. So you're getting a place that is, you are essentially getting 4 walls as far as I'm concerned. I don't even know if the plumbing works.
I don't know if there is plumbing.
Right. I don't know what's even in there. So let's just start there. Is there any part of this that intrigues you? Derek, I think you can also buy COVID-free houses in Detroit for $1.
We looked, and they're more than $1. But not as much as you
didn't you
think.
say that Detroit did something similar to this a while ago?
Detroit was pumped at St. Louis. East St. Louis actually did a huge thing for $1 as well. And then Detroit had some for like in the $800 to $1,000 range.
Okay. So if you see this picture here, again, it looks like a lot of work. Is there anything about this? Now, for me, the biggest issue is that I don't live there. I can't walk across the block.
Yeah.
But let's say I didn't live in Italy, but I lived a couple hours away. Anything about this pull you in, or does it immediately say, man, that sounds great, but I cannot even get my hand involved?
Well, they said you had to have like a plan and you have to restore it. You can't just like buy it and like wait for somebody else to like
Restore
come
the whole
along,
town?
yeah,
Yeah.
fix the rest of the town, then
Yeah.
sell your property.
Okay.
So
That's fair, though. You never see that.
yeah,
So you had to have a plan. You had to show them what your plan was to fix it, and you had income to fix it.
Yeah.
That's fair.
if you're handy
Uh-huh.
and you have like maybe some like people like people in the area,
Yeah.
I think that'd be a great project.
Right.
If you and like 10 friends could get in and get like a whole block,
That'd be
like
sick.
get like 10 houses for $10,
Working
and, like,
on everything.
just work together,
Yeah.
like go there as like a group.
Yeah.
Like, all right, we're all gonna drywall today. We're
Yeah.
all gonna like do piping and like work together.
Start with weed whacking, I hope.
Yeah, as a single person, probably too big of an undertaking.
Yeah.
But if you had like a team, man, if I was a contractor and you could like make, like, I don't know what their like regulations are, but you could get in there and like really do it up in like a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Man, you could probably make some
Here's
money.
here's what I was really thinking when I first saw it. I said, man, this is a no-brainer. Buy it for $1, move on. But then you said, right, like the idea is that you have to at least show them some kind of plan. And then the other problem is it's not, like I said, it suffers from depopulation. There's nobody there, right? So there's no stores around. There's no grocery stores. There's no gas stations. There's probably nothing open around there. That would be a major issue. You're going to be 3 to 5 years from living in that house.
Yeah.
Right?
So it said there are some rules. It says other towns do this.
Okay.
But they require a 5,000, I guess that's euro down payment that is forfeited if you don't restore it or renovate the house within 3 years.
Okay.
And then, but this city is doing a 250 euro insurance fee until it's completed. So
Okay.
theoretically,
Right.
for 250 euros a year, which is probably like $300,
Yeah.
you could own this house.
Yeah. Outright.
You just keep owning
And
it.
just
like,
hope-
and
and
just
just
pay
hope.
that
Yeah,
until
just-
eventually you could afford to
Yeah. Actually go help and
go
do something.
Yeah, so might not be that terrible for $300 a year. Man, I got like a retirement house.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a good idea because it does spike a lot of interest. But I agree with you. I think the main issue is they need hordes of people to be interested, right? It can't be one person. It can't be 5 people. They need 4,000 people to run in here and at once start moving things and picking stuff up. But if, let's say, you bought the place and you spent, I mean, I'm ballparking, $25,000 putting it back together.
yeah,
It would eventually could be worth 10 times that.
easily.
Right.
And it's not like the city's abandoned.
Right.
It's just underpopulated.
Very
Like,
underpopulated.
Yeah, they just are worried that they're going to have to abandon because they don't have enough people to support businesses and do
Yeah.
things like that.
And I imagine there's probably a little bit of crime there because of the same thing, right?
You would imagine.
You would imagine. Okay, so because of that, that got my brain thinking, and we love to do games on this show. So I designed a little game for you, Liam.
It's about time you design one for me.
That's right, buddy. I'm gonna bring you the heat today. No,
You could literally hold it here and I wouldn't be able to read what you have.
that's true. That's true.
It's
That's
in
true,
the
but-
code.
That's true, but I'm
I love that you're like,
I'm a card player. I gotta, yeah,
I could see it.
Gotta know when to hold them. Gotta know when to fold them, Liam.
Kenny Rogers, baby.
That's right. All right. So what I did was I was curious. That was $1, but I was curious just areas around the world, what it looks like to buy a place somewhere else. And I really it sounds dumb, but I don't know. I like if I rolled into like France tomorrow and I was like, I want to buy an apartment. I couldn't even take a stab at what they compared to us, right? Like I just really don't know.
I would imagine Paris is probably comparable, but other than that,
Right.
no idea.
So
Like,
let me
if
tell you. Let me tell you the criteria for this list. 'Cause it's
Okay.
important. This list is done to buy a 2-bedroom apartment
apartment. Okay.
in somewhere in what they consider at least the general center of the city.
Okay. Center of cities.
Center of cities.
Okay.
So,
So the chat can play along.
chat can play along. Yeah. So
Okay.
so yeah, you hear that, chat? So this is what going to be. It's the average price to buy a 2-bedroom apartment in somewhere in the city, in what they
Okay.
consider the city center. So even like Los Angeles is a good example.
Yeah.
It's a very clear distinction between when you're in the downtown and when you're not, right?
Yeah.
Very, very clear. So that's kind of the same thing. How much would it cost to buy an apartment average? And I did it by countries. So I want to say, I want you to know, that's how the whole game's going to work. So I'm going to start right off the bat. South Korea,
Okay. So Seoul, Okay.
versus Japan.
Tokyo.
I would assume.
All right.
I didn't write any of that down, so if you can keep asking me, but I'm not going to know all those answers.
All right. So I'm going to assume Tokyo versus Seoul. I'm going to think these are probably similar, but I would have to guess Tokyo is more. So I'm going to guess, and these are in dollars, right?
I converted everything to dollars.
To buy a 2-bedroom apartment in Tokyo, I'm going to say $800,000.
Okay.
Korea, I'm going to say $600,000.
Unbelievably, you nailed South Korea. 616,000. Japan, less at 500,000. I know.
Wow.
Some of this is really going to surprise you, and these are really recent numbers. These are from June.
All right.
These are from June.
So we'll just have to remember to give
Seoul
them
is
some
more.
time.
Yeah, so
Seoul is more.
Seoul is more. So that is very surprising to me.
So Tokyo's cheaper than LA?
I didn't do LA.
I'm just saying,
Oh, you
like,
know what?
yeah.
I did the United States. I did the United States. So we'll get to
Oh,
that.
the U.S.
Yeah, I
that's
know.
a wide number
That's
for
a very,
average.
It's a very wide number. So yeah, that one is very good.
All right, so if these are the countries, then I'm gonna have to change it a little bit.
yeah, but you had South Korea dead on.
Yeah.
You were dead on. You were
Well,
600,000.
South Korea's basically Seoul.
yeah.
I think Seoul makes up like 60% of their entire population.
That's true. So that one, yeah. So South Korea, that's a little bit more than Japan. That was kind of surprising
Alright.
to me. Hong Kong versus Singapore.
These are going to be two big ones.
Yes,
These are
you
going to be
very
two
right.
big ones.
They are very
Hong
big.
Kong is minuscule.
First off, let me just start by saying 600,000 is a lot for an apartment for 2 bedrooms anywhere. I'm just saying that right now.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
But all right. So Hong Kong versus Singapore.
Singapore, yep.
Singapore is going to be. I'm going to have to say Hong Kong's more.
Uh-huh.
If I'm guessing.
Okay.
I'm going to go Hong Kong $8.99.
Okay.
I'm going to go Singapore $7.50.
So you think Hong Kong's more than Singapore? You got $8.99, you got $7.50.
All right. So let's give the chat a second.
Yeah, any chat, Hong Kong or Singapore? What do you think costs more? And if you want to take a stab, you're welcome to do it. I just want to say, like one thing that's interesting to me is, I guess we're raised to think like there's, every city has a few expensive places, but you don't. I really didn't realize until looking at these numbers that some places are. That is why everybody lives outside the city. I mean, these numbers are insane. Some of these numbers are so insane. Okay.
All right. We got Hong Kong, Hong Kong, Hong Kong.
Okay,
Three
so
Hong Kongs.
3 Hong Kong. Everybody's right on Hong Kong. Hong Kong is more.
I had $8.99.
Double it. It's $17.90. $1.7 million. $1.7 million for an average 2-bedroom apartment downtown in Hong Kong right now. Singapore. Godzilla doesn't terrorize shitty places. That there's literally no facts to back that up. but I will give you a snug on that.
Damn, that's snug.
Singapore 1.1 million, so 600, almost 700,000 less to live in Singapore than it is in Hong Kong.
Wow.
1.7, it's basically 1.8 mil to get a 2-bedroom apartment. I actually shit my pants last night as I was doing these numbers. That's average. That means there's got to be places everywhere that are twice that, 3 times that. That's crazy to me. But think about it this way. If that's the whole downtown area.
Well, Hong Kong's basically a city.
Yeah.
That's a country. So it's like,
yeah.
like the whole city, the whole country is basically that.
But how many people would you say that probably estimates for?
It's probably like 20 million people.
That's
like,
scary, right?
no.
Isn't that crazy? Like that to me, actually shocked me. All right, moving on. We're not gonna beat a dead horse. Egypt versus
So Cairo, probably.
Uzbekistan.
All right.
I
Now-
don't know anything about these cities, so I think
right.
Cairo maybe. Right?
Cairo would be my guess.
I don't know where.
I don't know the capital of Uzbekistan.
Neither
off the
do I.
top.
Neither-
I'm gonna
Anybody
Kashmir.
I love it, dude. I'll take that. Anybody Uzbekistan capital? Come on, what do you guys at? Come on, everybody. Who's
Yeah, you guys all have the internet.
break out those touristy Uzbekistan t-shirts you guys all have.
All right, so I'm gonna go Cairo more.
Egypt over.
Egypt over Uzbekistan. I'm gonna say.
Whoa, that was
200?
really fast for Derek. I think he actually knew the answer.
Nah.
Tashkent. Did you Google it, Derek? You can be honest with us. We're friends here. We're all 2 dumb idiots, right? We're all 2 dumb idiots at heart. All right, so you want
All right,
you want
I'm gonna go
Uzbekistan?
200,000
Okay.
for
Egypt.
Egypt, and I'm gonna go 86,000 for Uzbekistan.
All right, you're kind of getting at least in the wheelhouse for.
He did. All right.
Okay, fair enough.
All
Yeah,
right.
Derek, I appreciate it.
All right,
Egypt
so-
over Uzbekistan, and
So let's give the
Uzbekistan's
chat
over-
a second.
Yeah, anything. I just want to see if anybody spells Uzbekistan. I just think that'd be really funny.
Uzbek.
Uzbek. Can't give you too much time. Sorry, guys. All right. So the answer is actually Uzbekistan is $50,000 average for a downtown apartment. Egypt, 42. So it's actually more expensive to live in Uzbekistan right now than it is in Egypt. That's fascinating. I don't know anything about Egypt though, so I'd have to go I'd have to go poke around and see.
Yeah,
what's
it's weird, but I just wouldn't have guessed it being that cheap.
But that's
in
a massive
Egypt.
drop, right? I mean,
Uzbekistan, I was pretty close on my guess.
that's
Like,
okay.
you know,
you were
like
80,000, 50,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were in the wheelhouse. All right, we're going back to slightly nicer places. Sweden
okay.
versus Kuwait.
Ooh, Sweden's a very expensive country. I know that.
Okay.
But Kuwait is so tiny
Yeah.
that I would imagine real estate is
Paul,
not
you had that
cheap.
exactly spelled right except for a Z instead of an S. That's pretty impressive. I'm going to be
Kuwait
completely blunt with you.
City.
I don't know anything about Kuwait.
Kuwait City is the capital.
Okay, there we go. Kuwait City. Kuwait got oil money.
Yeah, I know. There's a
Oh.
lot of people there with money too, like
Paul
that.
said I
But I'm saying, like, you think of like Dubai, like there's a lot of money. I'm gonna say Sweden. I'm gonna say Kuwait is more expensive.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Sweden is 500,000,
Okay.
and I'm gonna say Kuwait is like 650,000.
All right. Well, the one thing you did have right, chat. I gave him Sweden more. Kuwait got. I gave you guys a second. Very similar in price. Kuwait 344,000. Sweden 334,000. Almost identical to live in Kuwait compared to live in Sweden downtown.
But the weather not identical.
I can't imagine the people are identical either. The Swedes seem like a nice bunch.
They like their meatballs.
They like their meatballs. And
Not
blonde
so
women.
much. Yeah.
I like their blonde women. All right. So I didn't want to dip too far into the poorer countries because I don't want to seem like we're making fun of them. But there was one country for sure I had to put on this list just because we kind of joke about in this house being like the most out of control country ever. We're going to go Syria versus Iraq. What do you know about Syria, Lamb? Okay. I don't expect anybody to actually Google it. If anybody knew the capital of Syria, that would blow me away. I'm probably like Syria City or something. It's probably just that simple. I know. I thought that was this is interesting to me though. This is an interesting one. I thought this was interesting because
Iraq's such a big country.
And
Baghdad.
and I don't want to be rude, but I feel like in my head I see Syria as this nonstop like Call of Duty gunfight.
Currently, yeah. Damascus. Okay.
Okay.
That makes sense. Syriaville.
Jared,
I think it's gonna go Damascus because that is.
I disagree. I think Jared's right with Syriaville.
Yeah. All right, you go with that. I'm gonna say Syria is more than Iraq. Actually, no. I'm gonna go Iraq's more because of the oil.
Okay.
So I think people there have a little more money.
Okay. You don't have to take a money guess if you don't want, but if you have an
No,
idea.
I'm gonna go Syria 80,000.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go Iraq 90,000.
Very close. Syria is actually 11,000 more. It's 90,000 for a downtown 2-bedroom in Syria. It's 79,000 in Iraq.
So I
right?
literally just flipped them.
Just flipped them. You just literally had them backwards. You had the exact prices, but just backwards.
I'm gonna give myself a little horn on that one.
I'll give you the horn. Yeah.
You gonna go buy a place in Iraq?
I'm just trying to be honest. I don't want to be rude, but like 90,000 for a Syrian apartment. It's like, dude, I want to see this town right now, dude. Somebody show me what it looks like, because I want to see that right now. Very curious. Paul, perk your ears up right now. We got yours coming in hot. We got Denmark versus Italy.
Denmark wins that one for sure.
All right.
Because Italy's giving away places for $1.
That's true. That's true.
So Italy, I'm gonna go.
I should stop saying I don't know things about things because that just makes me sound like I don't know anything. But I couldn't. I mean, I know very little about Denmark too. I don't know anything about
It's a
Denmark.
very small country.
Yeah,
Land is at a premium.
Denmark for sure.
I'm gonna go. Wow, Jared going 1.3 mil on Italy.
Rome is more.
Yeah, Rome is.
Yeah, I was gonna put Greece in here, Derek, but I thought that would be kind of a kicking a person down.
All right, so I'm gonna say Italy, 260,000.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Denmark, 550,000.
Okay, so close kind of on Italy. Italy's 215
Okay.
for a downtown 2-bedroom. Denmark's only 300, so they didn't distinguish themselves that much from Italy. But I only found it interesting because now you had it right with Denmark, but I would say if you polled most people in the United States, they would think Italy's really expensive and beautiful and stuff. To hear that Denmark is nicer, I mean, I think that's interesting, right?
Yeah,
But
there's a lot of I don't know if this is average because
Yeah.
the whole country. There's a lot of cities in Italy that are not.
not that beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
or just tons of space, so they I could see them being.
yeah,
like,
200,000 is kind of interesting to me. Okay, so we did United States first, Slovenia.
Slovenia, eh?
Yeah,
Sure,
I
it's not Slovenia
I don't know the difference.
because Slovenia is quite pricey.
I put Vania. Let's hope.
I'm gonna go. Slovenia is more than the U.S. because
Okay.
of the average
Okay,
of
yeah,
all cities.
Average of all cities.
Because like Omaha's a city.
Right, that's true.
Ain't nobody
That's
live
true.
there.
That's true.
Um,
I mean, Calvert County is a city. No, just kidding.
Prince Frederick's a city.
Prince Frederick City, that's right. Excuse me. Yeah, Prince Frederick.
2-bedroom. I'm gonna say U.S. 175,
Okay.
and I'm gonna say Slovenia 206.
Okay. So you had one number almost dead on. That's you had 175, but that would be for Slovenia. It was 175. America only 119, dude. We were way down on this
Where are
list.
these
I'm
apartments?
telling you, dude. 2-bedroom in the United States for 119 downtown somewhere. I would say
Paul.
Florida exists. That's true. That's what I'm saying. I talk to my Florida people. They're like, "Oh, I pay like $275 for rent." I'm like, "Wait, what are you living like a trash can? What is?"
They take barters.
Yeah, well, it's just nonsense. All right, final one. This one was kind of interesting to me too because I know jack shit about the world. Germany versus New Zealand.
There's only like 2 cities in New Zealand. Germany's got a lot of cities, so I'm gonna say Germany's actually less than New Zealand.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Germany is like 360 and New Zealand's like 405.
Okay. I will say this before I give away the answer. Everything I knew about New Zealand was that they were slightly nicer than Australia, and they were a slightly more exciting place to live, and they're a slightly better. That's all I really know about New Zealand. Seems like a beautiful place to go and retire. So I'm not saying they're cheap, but they were cheaper than I was expecting. I don't know why. I thought they would at least be in like. I thought they'd be in the top 10, and they're not. I don't know why I did. I just did. But like you said, it does really matter where all these small little punk-ass cities count. The answer is actually Germany is a slightly more at $300,500 for a 2-bedroom. New Zealand $281. So it's $20,000 less to go to New Zealand. I put that in this list for one reason.
We're going.
I can't get like World War II out of my head for like Germany, so I just assume like it's just a pile of crap. And I know
Not quite.
Not quite. So 300,000 is not quite that. And I have spent time in New Zealand because where my work is based at, they do not take tips there and are amazing people. Both of those things I know nothing about New Zealand, and actually Irish. Both of those things I knew. Literally, my only very minimal knowledge of New Zealand is from people that used to come into my bar. They always asked me how much to tip because they said they didn't do it there. They were incredibly friendly. They make a ton more per hour than we do. The lady said she was an interior designer. She was making $38 an hour. And they also measure everything in liters, which really threw me off. She was like, "Yeah, we'll get like 2 liters of gas." I was like, "Lady, I don't know what the hell you're talking about." So
Yeah,
I was like, "How much is gas?" She was like, "We're only paying like $1.25 a liter." And I was like, "I don't know what the hell that means." So
it's more than we're paying.
right, I'm just making numbers up.
I know,
but yeah,
it's just like you're like, I gotta do multiple conversions here.
And I'm not saying I thought Germany was like actually in ruins, but just to hear that it was up there above New Zealand, I thought because Germany's big, right? That
Yeah.
is kind of surprising.
I think it's just so hard to get to New Zealand too, though.
Yeah, maybe.
It's like
Maybe. That's super true. Anyway, that's the end of it, guys. Hope I taught you guys something a little bit, and maybe if you never heard any of those places, I taught you.
well, I'm gonna teach you some things.
All right, teach me something.
Because we were talking about this earlier, and these houses were $1.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought to myself, what else is $1?
What's $1?
So I went to the local Dollar King, and I bought some items that I thought were very worth $1. And I want you to tell me whether you think
Okay.
these items are worth
$1.
$1.
Okay. I love the dollar.
It is
store.
pre-tax $1,
Pre-tax $1. Fair enough.
but it is $1
All right.
nonetheless.
Fantastic. Let's roll through these here.
All right.
What you got?
First one,
Whoa. A 3-pack.
3-pack of razors,
Is it a brand name?
Imperial razors.
Never heard of it.
It's a 2+1 bonus pack.
Here's what I'm going to say. I do not believe that paying that much extra for razors does anything. I just don't believe it. Now, that off-name brand, that far off, I could be worried there's like a butter knife on those things instead of like an actual, like they're just pulling shit out of my face.
I'm saying if this works twice per razor,
Yeah.
it's worth $1 for 3 of them.
I 100% agree. I'll give you $1 for those, for sure. All right.
I thought that was a pretty solid
That's
one.
pretty solid deal. 4 blades. It makes me think of like all the comedians that talk about 9 blades, just like one razor, just melt your face off.
A $1 butcher's knife.
This is what I'm talking about. I actually might say no to that because it looks more like a Halloween prop, and I'm not 100% sure it would chop anything. Made in China. There's literally no description on the back. Nothing. It's like, yo, you kind of get the. It's barely in the package. It's moving around in here. It says heat resistant handle. That's the best they got. It's
Heat resistant.
It's plastic, of course.
Yeah,
it's heat
it's
resistant. Don't get too crazy. Dishwasher safe ish.
It's a cleaver.
It's a cleaver. This is one of those things is like a guy breaks in your house. You're like, shit, I reached for that. And you're like, you hit him with it. And he's like, what was that? And you're like, damn it, that didn't work. I'm going to say not worth $1, but it is really funny that you found it. Really funny.
All right.
What you got here? What the flying hell is this? Oh, it's a TV antenna. Oh, my
A
God.
$1 TV antenna.
That thing is going to bring me stations from the most busted public TV of all time.
It only hooks into like public radio, public television.
Public television. That's it. It's just just random ethnic music.
Feel how heavy duty this thing is. It literally feels like a movie prop.
If somebody came into my house and they're like, "Damn, the signal's a little busted," I'm like, "Yeah, man, I got this thing at the dollar, so I'm not sure why it's not holding out." So weird. It looked really nice in there. It was my brand name, I know, which is Global Brands.
Good old Global Brands.
Global Brands just making everything. That 100% worth the try for sure.
All right,
We get the worst reception in here, so we need to jack that thing up anyway.
Last one is a gift for you. I specifically got it for you.
Does any of this crap work?
We'll find out.
I am going to try the meat cleaver, Stacy, so I'll let you know. Hell yeah. See, this is my inner kid going, all right, this is what I'm talking
So
about.
it's a table tennis set. So now it's going to come with a ball, 2 paddles, and a net you can set up wherever you want.
2 things. One, really great idea, but this is what I would call real-life clickbait. Go ahead and set this up, try and play one game, and nothing works. And you're like, damn, this ball doesn't bounce, this net falls apart, these paddles don't hit it. The first hit you hit, the paddle breaks in your hand. You're like, this is not even worth 40 cents. I can't say, but it is worth, yes, only. This is what's going to happen. I'm going to open this package. I'm going to smack this ball at somebody. They're going to smack it back. It's going to last 10 minutes, and we're going to throw them away. That's it.
And we're going to have had great $1 worth of fun.
Absolutely worth $1. That is hilarious. That is really funny. I'm a huge ping ponger. We got to set that up.
Yep, we'll set that up.
For Thursday's show, I'm going to get a video for you guys of me and Lamb trying to play ping pong with that busted ass. How wide could this net possibly be?
I would guess a foot and a half.
I mean, can I get called for guarding the net?
Nah, bro. We gotta play full distance.
Full distance.
We'll play like sideways on the table.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Set it up.
All right, guys. Before we let you guys go here, we're gonna do our final section of the show here. So much funny stuff to cover real quick, and a little bit of this.
Yeah, I mean, I've been called dumb once or twice in my life.
Oh, that's not the one. Oh, fudge sickle. Wow, man, that really confused me. Sorry, guys. I was going sports ball. I didn't even realize it was the wrong one to it. Anyway, I'll hit the button in a little bit. We're gonna do quick sports. Or we can just end the show. I can just hit that button.
I think maybe that was like predetermined.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right,
yeah.
wrap it up,
Yeah,
guys.
wrap it up. Do you want to hit these real quick?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, let's do it. How do I turn this damn thing off?
Hit the button again.
Okay, here we go. There we go.
Goalie drops back, catcher punch near the rim, slam, dunk, touchdown.
Sports ball. Okay, so a couple things over the weekend that I just thought were funny and maybe you guys missed. We're going to start off with... we're just going to start off with a quick factoid about Le'Veon Bell, which made me laugh. The Jets and the Kansas City Chiefs played each other this weekend, and the player on the Jets that was being paid the most to play that day was Le'Veon Bell, and he was playing on the other team. And it makes me laugh. I just watched Moneyball, and there's a great scene in there where he's talking to like a veteran player, and the guy's like sitting there talking to him. He's like, do you know who I am? And he's like, yeah. You know what I know? I know that the Yankees are paying $2.5 million for you to play against them this season. And he just kind of stares at him. That's what I feel like right here. You know, I love that their most expensive player was on the other team. All right, and then that just gave me a chuckle. After a touchdown this weekend, real quick, who was this? Hines.
Yeah.
Hines for the Colts here busted out a little bit of athleticism.
Great catch by Hines inside the 10.
Woo! That's so smooth. And then he does this.
Oh yeah, do your cartwheel.
That is a full backflip. That is a full tuck and a half there. That is something you would see out of a gymnast, not a regular schmucky person.
And I love that the announcer's like, do your cartwheel.
Not a cartwheel.
Not a cartwheel, bro.
Also, he did it twice. He landed it twice in the game because he had 2 touchdowns, and he earned himself a nice little Simone Biles Olympic gymnast shout out. She said that she was very impressed with his 1.5. That's what it's called, a 1.5. That's very, very cool.
So he's got a future in case
Seriously,
doesn't work out.
Such freaks, dude.
Such an athlete. The speed he had to show to make the play.
I would be livid as a coach. Livid.
Yeah, you're putting your literally career on the line.
Oh, I landed funny. My whole knee exploded. It's all over the ground.
My ankle.
Well, that's what you get for being a jackass. All right. The only other sports thing.
What's it? The replacements?
Yeah.
Don't
what-
don't score the points if you can't handle the
That's right,
celebration
yeah.
or something.
Don't make the play if you can't handle the celebration. He's like, that's a rule. He's like, I think so. He's like, so then did want to make just a quick joke. Apparently there was a wrestling coach here in a middle school that was caught teaching his class from Starbucks because his internet was down. They were like
Caught?
They were,
That's more like doing what he's supposed to do.
Right, people were like mad at him for it because he was like kind of like hushing it through the Starbucks. But I was like, I thought of you. And I was like, what else is he supposed to do? Like not teach the class? You know what I mean? So
I know. Like I have like a plan in place. Like if my internet goes out, like what the kids are supposed to do.
Yeah.
And I can like kind of communicate with them through my phone, but it's not the same. I can't like
sure.
run a class.
For
Like,
sure. I don't know why people are upset about it, but it did make me laugh because I feel like it's going to be an actual issue going forward for a very long time.
Yeah.
Final one. My main man, Ramit Thorne here is a Pittsburgh fan, and he put me onto this story, and it did make me laugh. We can throw up this picture here real quick. There's a guy named There's a guy named Avery Williams who is a linebacker for the Jets. As I just told you, that team sucks. They are 0-8. He was traded yesterday to the Steelers, who are 7-0. And he posted a picture of him in the rain in a full Jets uniform with his thumb up, hitchhiking. It says going from 0-8 to 7-0. I thought it was really funny because he knew the headlines were going to be there anyway, and he kind of just immediately went and played fun. Now, me and you looked at this picture and said it looked Photoshopped. I don't know how he got it, but it looks really clean. I love the story. It does make me laugh. You're sitting there, but what it tells me is this. Honestly, this is what it tells me. 95% of these guys are straight professionals. They don't care if they're playing against. They don't care if they're playing for the team that plays against the Globetrotters. Yeah. You know what I mean? They are going to go out there every single Sunday for the garbageous ass team and just put their life on the line. And this guy continued to do it all season, and somebody else took notice. I think that's really cool. I do think it's really funny that he made fun of it. I have no idea where he got a picture of himself or how he did it, like a full outfit in the rain. It's really funny. He looks ridiculous. But yeah, really great news for him. I thought that was kind of funny. Anyway, guys, we had a blast. We've got a lot of stuff ready for Thursday. We're going to try out some of this knucklehead shit. We'll get a video for you guys playing Pong. See if we can... Burgers. Oh, that's right. Yeah, we also... we are probably, what we're going to do for Thursday, we're probably going to go through our top five burgers, and we've decided under $9 or $10. So no Red Robin, no store, top 5 burgers. If it's under $10, $9, it counts. That's where we kind of put the line. Like I said, we don't want any like $15, like, Ruth's Chris got a pretty good, I'm sure they do. You know what I mean? What can you roll me out? Fast food style, and we're going to put our top 5 together. If you guys have things that you don't want us to miss, send them our way. Say, hey, you got to try this one, or please put this in the list, and we'll...
And it can't be a one single place.
Right.
Like, can't be like, in Des Moines, Iowa,
No,
Frank's Burgers, bro.
That's very important.
Yeah.
It's got to be a place that has at least 100 other of them, you know? So
multiple locations.
We're going to do our top 5 burgers. We will have some fun arguing about that. Other than that, man, appreciate you guys hanging out. If we said anything that was wildly factually inaccurate,
too damn bad.
Too damn bad. We're the Two Dumb Idiots. We hope you guys had a good time today. I love you guys for hanging out. As always, as I say, the chat actually killed. As always, I love you guys. Thank you so much. We will be here on Thursday. I'm Nick.
I'm Kevin.
See you guys Thursday.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the right button.
I've been called
About
dumb
time.
once or twice in my life.
Maybe we'll try this Andy thing again.
5 guys. Oh, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, we haven't done him in a while.
Hey, guys, thanks for following us along. Another good clip here. Make sure to catch us out on Twitch and hit that subscribe button right here.